So I thought I'd just give an update because it's not all sunshine and roses, and unfortunately I've got some more issues with my Zenith. Some a lot more simple than others. So the first one is on this strap. You'll see it's a little bit shinier there where I've glued it. So the rubber, underside of the rubber started to come away from the top side of the kind of the Cordura Effect rubber strap. Zenith sent me a brand new strap free of charge, as you'd expect under warranty. So it's kind of less than a year old. Switch between two straps and it's kind of come away. I don't think Zenith make their straps, but either way, not ideal. Another small issue is, I don't know if I can catch it here, but the finishing on this pusher isn't quite the same. You see it's quite shiny and it's got that mark at the top, which has been there since I've owned the watch, but I just kind of left it. Whereas this one is like the rest of the case. It's a nice matte bee-blasted finish. And that one's a little bit shinier and it's kind of got that mark at the top. It's never really bothered me, not something I was going to send the watch away for, but as I'm sending it away for the bigger problem, which I'll come on to in a minute, I figured I would get that looked at. So I'm going to ask them to look at this pusher and hopefully they'll replace it. I have got a new strap, a brand new strap, which is great because they're 300 quid or something like that. No, they are £300, in fact. What else was there? The watch is running about 3 seconds slower a day now. So last time I was timing it, it was running about 1.8 seconds slower a day, which is okay. I'd rather it ran fast, but running slow and not that slow isn't so bad. So I'm going to ask them to regulate it. It's kind of consistent. It's between 2 and 4 seconds a day on a time grapher in about 8 or 9 different positions. So it's consistent, but it's slow. So I'm going to ask them to regulate it to be a tighter tolerance and ideally to run fast. Because while they've got it, because it's going to Switzerland. So while they've got it in Switzerland, I just figured may as well get that sorted. Also, these black screws on the back, I'm assuming they're PVD or DLC coated. So I've specifically said, ensure they're not damaged, because you don't want a black watch and then a damaged PVD or DLC coated screw that has some base metal, so the kind of like silver of the stainless steel showing through. But the main reason is going back, and it's done this since I've owned it, but it's kind of never bothered me until recently. So if you knock the watch gently, which I'll do in a minute, the second hand for the chronograph moves off 12 o'clock. And I get, if you really hit the watch hard, I get it, that should happen. Well, should it happen? I don't know. I've never had a chronograph before. I wouldn't expect it to happen at all, but if you really hit the watch hard, then I can kind of get why it does it. But I was walking just in the house the other day and I gently nudged it on a wooden door frame and it moved off by about 4 seconds. And I don't think that should happen. And then you've got to play around with the chronograph to get it back to 12 o'clock, and I'll demonstrate that in a moment. Another issue that I've had with the watch since I've owned it, and it's just kind of got to the point where I just want to send it away and get these things rectified, is that sometimes when you start the chronograph, it will run for a second or two and then stop, and you kind of have to stop it and restart it to get it moving again. And that's not acceptable, I don't think. These other kind of things, you know, it is what it is, but I don't think that's acceptable. And then the other one is sometimes when you stop it and then reset it, it doesn't always go back to 12 o'clock position. It has there, but fairly frequently it will fall either side of 12 o'clock. And then what needs to happen is you just press it again and it will go bang on to 12 o'clock. So not a massive issue, but when you're paying, you know, £12,000 for a watch with a very specific flyback chronograph complication from one of the best movement makers in the world, especially for the El Primero caliber chronograph, you don't want that as an issue. It still sounds great. Listen to this. So it's still great to use. It's just a bit frustrating that it does that. So then if there you go, that's not even that hard. And you can see it's moved off the 12 o'clock position there. And you can reset it, but it wasn't even a hard tap. And it's moved off the 12 o'clock position. And obviously the harder the tap, the more it moves off. So that's the reason it's going, oh, there you go. And I've just reset it after that tap and it's fallen the wrong side. So a little bit frustrating. It does have to go all the way back to Switzerland to get fixed. It can't be done at the local service centre because they need to obviously have the people that know the movement a bit better and there you go, it's done it again after the knock. And then you press it again. I love the watch. I really, really like the watch. It's still super comfortable. I love the look of it. I love everything about it that I've already talked about. It's just frustrating now having to send it away, because I've got that issue with the second hand, the issue with the pusher, the issue with the strap, and the noisy rotor that was fixed when I first owned the watch. So a little bit annoying, but like I say, sending it away, I can get those other small issues looked at as well. When it comes back from Zenith, obviously I will be critical about it, just like I am. I want people to know what it's like to own these things, whether they're, you know, £2,000 shooters, £500 Seikos, or expensive Zeniths. These things happen, and I do get these things can happen. You know, it's 305 mechanical components. It's a brand new movement. I understand there are teething issues. The Chronomaster Sport had some teething issues as well, and they've rectified that. So yeah, frustrating, not the end of the world. God knows how long it'll be away for. I reckon 4 to 6 weeks. But when I get it back, I will do another update and let you know if it's working as I'd expect. And I will just give it a nudge like that again. And also if they've managed to, hopefully they'll just put new screws in. But yeah, that's one of those things that I have picked up on. When you send watches away for service, they often come back with blemishes and marks that they didn't have when you sent it away. So yeah, I will update when it comes back. Any questions, as always, let me know.